Hello, hello. Oh,
Hello, how are you doing?
doing well. Nice Palm. First, a beach in Palm appears and only you then. So that's how Zoom arranges the theme. That's
Zoom
pretty
has
cool.
Zoom has is doing something interesting lately. It really it brings you into focus, right? So you open the thing and then you just suddenly appear, you kind of float into the
Yeah,
it's people keep commenting on it. They're like, "Oh, Bradley just floated into the call."
yeah.
Yeah. So
So how stuff is going in general?
good, good, doing all right. Don't have a big agenda for today, so it depends what you want
Hmm.
to you have something else you want to bring up.
Yeah, let's discuss. Well, let's wait for a couple of minutes, right, for
Yeah.
other folks. Otherwise,
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
we have some stuff to discuss mostly. Post-release things, right, and country
Yep,
quest. Yeah.
yep, yep. No, I think the idea for Contrib Fest is good. Um, yeah, I wanted something different from last year. So I think that you've succeeded in creating that, right? So for me, I think it's a good plan.
Yeah, it's different in the angle, right?
Yeah,
So on the last Country Fest we touched like a source code and stuff. Here, like kind of incubating
yeah,
level test suite, more scenarios and stuff. But
yeah.
like as a core, the core is the same. And what I learned there, right? Getting there to full local setup is already like it takes most of the Country Fest time because like obviously laptops are not ready for that.
Yeah.
Conference networking is super limited, right? So instead of 5 minutes, it can take 30, right? So for pulling the new images, so yeah, it's all that stuff. That's why I keep it lightweight, right?
You know, I when I yeah, I used to work as a Java developer trainer for some years. And
Download the internet, yeah. It's a
Yeah,
famous Java
well,
download the internet.
one of the things was always, you give the people who are coming to the training, you always give them prerequisites. You
Yeah,
have to have these versions of things, and you have to have, it should be installed before you come, et cetera, et cetera. And there's reasons that we say both of these things,
yeah,
right? But nobody ever came prepared, right? To any training.
yeah,
Didn't matter if it was company, didn't matter if it was community. It was always on the spot. Everybody was installing everything. People didn't have the right versions of stuff.
exactly. Yeah.
Is yeah,
It's always you need to include the buffer for that,
yep,
no
yep.
matter what. Yeah.
Yeah, it took me a couple of trainings to figure that out. I used to provide 4-day trainings, sometimes
Mm.
five. And really, it was like if we actually had everyone installed and just running the basic Hello World app by the time it was lunch on the first day, that was a good one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Looks like it is summer mode. Nobody
Yeah.
joins.
Yeah, we're hitting the European summer.
Yeah. I feel like one day we need to move it to American compatible time zone as our
Oh,
heat map.
that
Uh,
actually that's actually a good idea. I hadn't
yeah,
thought about
yeah.
that. Let me take a note of that.
Usage heat map is much stronger there, right? So,
Yeah, yeah. And
mm,
as you
mm,
said, at KubeCons, right, as well.
yeah.
You said at KubeCons there's more people coming to the booths. I Have I been to the KGB booth in the US yet? I don't think I have been. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Maybe was I? No, I wasn't in Chicago, was I? I wasn't in Atlanta either.
No, it was London and
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Amsterdam. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't think
yeah,
I've been on one
yeah,
of the US ones
yeah,
for KGB. So, all right. So I'm just going to take a note to consider. That's
yeah.
a good idea. Consider moving KGB community meeting to US friendly time.
Yep.
It'd just be a couple hours later in the
Mm.
afternoon, basically.
Yeah, the only drawback might be like a conflicts with the standard work meetings for European folks, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? So
mm,
I
mm,
tend to have, even though I want to have all of my meetings nice and
mm.
early, I tend to have them. Yeah, at 3 o'clock, my day starts to get quite busy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because also it's also about overlap
Yep,
with US, right? So,
yep, 100%. So I talked with Fabrizio a bit this morning. He was he
okay.
was he was heartbroken about Colombia losing to Switzerland in the World Cup.
Oh, okay.
It was a good game, right? They had 0-0, and then it was 4-3 on penalty kicks. So
Mm,
that's
not
a
bad.
that's a tough game. So
JK was playing their last game when I was in Easton. So we were in a restaurant, and dude was kind of talkative, right? Oh, you're from Czech Republic here. There's a game with Mexico, and I think they lost and they were out
yeah,
exactly on that day. It's not
perfect.
much I like I care about football much, but yeah, it was fun.
I like to there's some nice watch parties here that I didn't pay attention to
Mm.
what I call soccer until I
Yeah,
lived in
yeah,
Europe, right?
yeah.
And but now yeah, we sometimes will go to things, and we saw a couple of years ago we went to a an outside watch party here where you get fed, you get things to drink, and they have a huge
So it's
screen.
kind of went by itself. Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
and we watched Switzerland almost beat Spain, right? And lose on penalty kicks. And that was a big, because Spain is quite a good team, right? So,
Yeah.
all right, I think
Looks like
let's
an official start, right? Let's
yes,
share the agenda things.
share my agenda here so that we can make sure the people who are on their holiday already get to see it later on.
Yep.
So I put the same kind of thing in here as last time, just the issue review and the peer reviews in the backlog there. These will be populated after. I'll put your name in here afterward.
Thank you.
But yeah, the agenda, of course. Ah, there's Farhan.
Farhan,
Look
hey.
at that.
Already is he teammate? Zoom account. Nice.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, hey, how you doing?
I'm
Good.
doing,
How are you? How's your new
I'm doing
job?
good. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's great. Onboarding
Good.
and stuff. I love this
Awesome.
app.
Good, good. Well, we were just about to start.
Yeah.
We were only talking about, the World Cup and things like that before, so nothing, you didn't miss anything.
Okay.
So yeah, we were going to talk about today about the release 0.20.0 and some KubeCon stuff and some incubation updates. So yeah, let me go to this one, I think. We can see what's in the release here. And Fury, if you want to talk about anything in particular.
Yeah, the main stuff is what was driven by Michal, zone delegations earlier, right?
Yep.
So Michal did like a tremendous work there on stabilizing that part. Everything is nicely backward compatible, and the idea is that you can run some of the clusters where the applications are deployed. GCLB is pre-deployed, and you enable including those clusters into the picture with a specific zone delegation CRD. Before that, whenever a KGB enabled cluster was inside the fleet, right, and the app wasn't there yet, then it was an examen situation. So now it's much more flexible, much more reliable. Huge thanks to Michal for enormous work, bunch of PRs, these famous 3.x out of 4 numbering. They're amazing. Hey, Michal. Michal just joined.
Hey guys, nice to meet you.
Hey,
Yeah, we
hey,
we
hey.
Michal 3.16 out of 4.
Yeah. We were just discussing the release, so like, and your amazing work there.
Cool.
Do you want to add something about zone
Yeah,
delegations?
yeah. I will. I'm working uh, on the Infoblox geotags again because I need to do larger changes there. So it will be like geotagging, but only for the Infoblox provider. For the external DNS, I spent some time several months ago on that. And the problem is that for that reason, there will need to be change of external DNS. to make it like a fully distributed, because at the moment external DNS is just like one instance and they don't know about each other. And
Mhm.
because of owner text txt ID, or there is the argument which is telling which external DNS is changing the records. For that reason, I have problems with the reading of the doing the dynamic geotags. But in the info blocks, I can do it. So yeah, that's something
Yeah.
which is in the progress at the moment.
Yeah, but high level, I'm not super deep into dynamic geotagging. But high level, we controls external DNS record, right, dynamically with a CRD, and the CRD is populated by a k8gb controller that is aware of what is happening
Yeah,
across the fleet. So what does the
but
blocker do? Yeah.
geotags,
Mm-hmm.
they are set in configuration in the
Upfront.
KGB pod.
So it's like chicken egg, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but for the dynamic geotag,
Mm-hmm.
you don't need it. Basically,
Yeah.
you add new KGB instance and it will connect into the HDNS, starts to create the records, and it will know, thanks to the zone delegation, it
Mm-hmm.
knows it can read the rest of the NS records and
Right.
extract the regions from that. But on the other hand, it will require more requests to DNS, so you have like zillions of instances, it could be a problem.
Yeah, to make this discovery, and can you remind me how the discovery is happening there? Like where's the source of truth? In the DNS itself?
Zone delegation.
Yeah.
DNS itself, and it goes to zone delegations.
Mm-hmm. And the original motivation for that is that for apps of fleet, right? Something like to make it more flexible.
Yeah, we can have like multiple zones. We can remove them. We have like the control per zone. There is a long space for the extensibility. So each zone can be configurable, because we still have just like four flags for the zone, but we can extend so each zone can behave very differently. I mean, in terms of, because now we have like a one core DNS configuration for all. Now we can have it
Okay.
like by zone. And maybe Dinar could tell more about it. Regarding zones, it's much easier for us to deploy, because we can deploy all stuff at once in one configuration on all clusters, and they will not avoid each other, and it will configure itself. So in the larger scales, it is less maintainability for us.
Got it. So it's not like you don't need to configure this geotags per Helm chart anymore. Everything is super consistent. Yeah, that's a nice feature. Yeah. Cool. All right, thank you. Let's see how it goes. Maybe if you can scroll down a little bit, Bradley. So we have some new contributors there. So thankfully we have 3 new folks. It's at the very bottom, the new contributors. It's automatically populated list. Yeah. And actually 6 contributors contributed to the release. Thanks everybody, including Farhan. And we have 3 new contributors, Raj, Emmanuel, and Arya. Hopefully I got the names properly. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your contributions to the project. So yeah, it's pretty packed release. A lot of dependency updates, enhancement in the pipelines, a bunch of stuff. And yeah, we had a funny or not so funny release broker, right? So it was identified by Mikhail with the first attempt to release, and our GitHub changelog generator was like it was working for 6 years, and now it started to hiccup on tracing the merge commits for some reason. So yeah, we made a decision to replace it with a standard GitHub API. Basically, it's a similar generation change log that is produced by GitHub itself, because back in the days, this functionality just didn't exist. That's why we relied on a external utility for that. Now we can consolidate, and I anyway had a associated issue in a backlog that I noticed that like a new style of changelog is pretty nice from especially contributor perspective. So it highlights the new contributors, the current ones, and that's not something that we do not have organically with the old style changelog generator. So this change is for the best. And yeah, one thing I wanted to mention, there is some small regression in the chainsaw, so we enhance the chainsaw reliability, but there is some tweak in the pipeline, so it's skipping. And if you can go to the pull request, just a list of pull requests, Bradley, in a repo, so it will be immediately visible. Yeah, if you open just pull request, so you can see there is some. I don't see red flags in your case. That's interesting. There is like a red UI marks. I see them on my side, but the thing is that UI marks them as like a failed, but in the meantime they actually skipped. So that's some tweaks that I want to make for a chainsaw workflows. Yeah. And otherwise, I think we are good with the release. Salsa, the rest of the release pipeline worked as smooth as possible. The Salsa signatures, attestations, everything was created nicely in the release pipeline. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the release discussion. Maybe as we approach an incubation, we can already think about marking it V1.0 right after incubation, right? No matter what, like if it's like a break-in, non-break-in, whatever. Linux Torvalds did that with a kernel, so we can do the same. Just bump when we feel good. So. I think that will be a good chance to actually like reflect the maturity after the incubating event in a next release tech as well.
Yeah, this is something that we were thinking about a little while ago. What would be included in a V1, but I think
Yeah.
it's a good sign of the maturity of the project anyway, that we're incubating. We're not incubating yet, but should be soon, right?
Yeah.
So and then yeah, I have no problem with doing that. So yeah. Okay, so
Awesome.
other things, yeah, just to go right into that then, the incubation update. So we're 1 week into the public comment period on the incubating application. So on Monday, so in 5 days, it will be the last day of that, and then it goes to the TOC vote, which can take a couple of days, or it can take whoever knows how long based on people's availability, right? But it usually doesn't take too long. And then I think at that point, we have technically met all of the requirements for incubating, and then it's just a matter of, paperwork, more or less. So it's very exciting, and I think we're just about within the last month here or so of being sandbox. So
So long road, guys. So I'm not congratulating ourselves yet, but yeah, we're getting there.
yep. So, and that of course that opens up, extra support, little things like, being able to have a contrib fest, which in the documentation is, in one place it says you have to be sandbox, another it says you have to be incubating, but also getting extra time in the booth, for example, extra booth slots. So those are things which will be really helpful, and some marketing stuff. So those are a few of the things that are coming along with being incubating. And of course, then people who are looking for something in the CNCF landscape, they can take a look and see, there might be some companies that only look at projects that are incubating or above, right? Just like there are some companies that when they're looking for a partner, they only look in, the top right of the Gartner Magic Box, for example, right? So it's a related kind of thing there. So it's a nice sign of where the project is. So yeah. Lots of KubeCon prep going on, and by KubeCon I just mean KubeCon North America, right? I don't think we're gonna have a presence in India or China, right, this year. But we're applying for Contrib Fest today, I believe, Yuri. We applied for Lightning Talk this week. We applied for Kiosk this week. And there's a couple other things like KCD in Geneva at the end of the year, and or the beginning of September or beginning of October. I think the beginning of October, there's OSS Summit Europe, which is in Prague, and Dev Days also in Prague. And so we've submitted to those as well. So any kind
Yeah,
of questions on any of those things?
if you guys want to join Country Fest in Salt Lake City, let me know. We definitely have some slots there. It's like up to the 4 maintainers, so I can invite you anytime.
Yep. Yeah, it'd be definitely good to know if anybody's going to be at KubeCon, and if you know somebody who's going to be at KubeCon, this kind of things. We like to see as many people as we can and interact with as many people as we can, right? So
Yeah, and Country Fest, by the way, it gives you a full-fledged coupon ticket, just in case, if it gets accepted, obviously.
yeah, then the trick is just getting to Salt Lake City and having a place while you're there.
Oh, planes are still flying, right? So
Yeah.
it's a nice place.
I've never been there, so we'll see.
Look, I really like Salt Flats. It's like this desert from the salt. That's super amazing. Like must have to see once in life.
All right. Anything that anybody else wants to bring up? Farhan, Mikhail? Anybody want to talk about the heat?
How did you survive +42 in Prague, Michael?
I was outside of Prague. I was
Makes
in
sense.
mountain. Yeah, but now I opening the windows and let air move from one side of building to other.
You have to embrace the heat. Just get on the treadmill and run when it's 40. Just run the whole day. Okay, I don't have anything else. So if nobody's got anything else, then we can end it a bit early today.
Yeah, so I'm still thinking about ContraFest. I actually didn't
Okay.
apply. I just shared the CFP with you, right?
Yeah. We're gonna
So
apply today, I think, right? So
yeah. So should I invite you and Fabrizio currently? Is that correct understanding?
I'm not sure. Yeah, you could invite. I don't know. I talked with Fabrizio this morning because as before everyone joined, Switzerland beat Colombia last night in World Cup. So he's from Colombia, I'm from Switzerland. So I know he's going to be at KCD Florida because they asked him about a year ago to be there, but he's not sure yet if he's going to be at KubeCon in Salt Lake City. So
Oh, I see.
to wait and
Okay.
see. It's something
Yeah,
we
well,
can
thank you.
we could always put him on there, and then if it doesn't work out, then we can invite somebody else, right?
Yeah, that's how we rolled last time.
So,
Yeah. All right. That sounds
but
great.
he's a great addition anytime. So,
Oh, yeah, for sure. Super brilliant. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Hey, it was good seeing you all today. Let me know if I can help with anything. I hope you have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Cheers,
you,
guys.
guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.